Hi there, people. This is Ahmed coming out to you from the Frankenstein. Today we'll be discussing quite a challenging house. As you can see from the title, Jacques Bogart. Now, with Jacques Bogart, you're either a fan of it or you absolutely hate it. There's just no in between with this house, there's just no gray area. Now, where do I stand with this house? Why don't you sit tight and find it out for yourself? Now, let's start with the general limbo presentation. It comes in a cardboard box, golden through and through. On the sides, black, a little patterned stripes here. You have one man show written here, and the concentration is eau de toilette. Don't let that fool you, because this little description is more than made up for the shortcoming of this description, because it is highly concentrated. I believe it only comes in one size, 100 ml. You've got the batch code below, the ingredients listed behind. Pretty standard cardboard box. Now, as for the bottles are really nice. It has a matte black finish. I think this line has similar framework of bottles, but just the colors differ with the flankers. You've got the Bogart House insignia engraved here inside the cap. This is a built-in sprayer with a cap. A one-man show edition on a rugged sticker. Concentration here again, and you got batch code engraved below. The sprayer is pretty decent. I know I'm probably gonna regret this since this is so nuclear. Screw it. This is how it shoots. Don't shoot only one. It's gonna leave a trail for the rest of the day. I don't want any more Jacques Bogart on my conscience. Anyway, so that's about the presentation. Now, according to Fragrantica, this is categorized as warm, spicy fragrance. This was released back in 2011 as a flanker to the original Jacques Bogart, which came out in 1980. Almost 3 decades later, this is launched as a limited edition. Although they say it's a limited edition, but I think it's more of a marketing ploy because they say it's readily available still to this day in most part of the world, I believe. The perfumer is Jacques Bogart himself. Now, the top notes of this fragrance is mandarin, apple, African orange flower, violet, and anise. For the middle notes, you have geranium, cinnamon, clove, and lavender. And the base, you have amber, musk, French labdanum. Yeah, that's about it. Now, I won't spray it because I've already sprayed it once, and it has a strong presence. I can still detect it, and I can give my opinion on the top notes from that initial spray, because this is a type of fragrance. 1 spray fills the room, 2 spray fills the other room, 3, by the time of 3 sprays, it announces itself to the whole household. Now, I may be fond of this in certain circumstances, but not the whole household is, because my sister hates it, absolutely loathes it. So I'll spare my trouble. I'll spare myself the trouble, okay? And I've had it drying down here for 3 hours now. And I'll tell you right off the bat, if the top notes of apple and mandarin orange has piqued your interest, do not expect a soothing, fruity accord to greeting you in the opening. It is the furthest thing from a fruity and docile reception. What I'm getting at, it is not as mild. It has a harsh opening whereby you do get the apple opening, but it's strongly doused with spices, and you also get the green properties on the opening. I believe it comes from the anise, which has medicinal vibes. But as it settles down, the harshness mellows down a bit. Do you have in mind, I say, the harshness mellows down a bit, just by a bit. It is still quite prominent. It is a nuclear fragrance, by the way. The spices then take over, and the apple plays second fiddle to cinnamon and clove. I also get a talcum powder vibe from it at this stage. Now, lavender is normally associated with a powdery effect, so I'm guessing it causes that talcum powder effect at this stage. And also in the dry down, I get a hefty dose of the musk. It doesn't change much throughout its lifespan. It stays pretty linear. So that's about what I get from it. The projection wise, this is beastly. Beastly as in I get 7. Projection wise, it could project for almost 6 to 7 hours, and longevity could go up to 20 to 22 hours. I kid you not. This is the kind of fragrance, even after you wash your hand, you can still detect it. That's how strong it is. So easy with the sprayer. I repeat, easy with the trigger, because this would definitely piss people off, because I was testing it and I oversprayed a bit and I was gasping for air when I did that, and I also pissed a lot of people around me in closed settings. I wouldn't do it, and I strongly advise you not to do it. If you're rocking it, easy on the trigger. Now, the scent profile of this fragrance is quite challenging and bold. If I were to describe this fragrance, I would describe it as an unapologetic, brash powerhouse smell. This is not a crowd pleaser by any stretch of the imagination. This is the one you wear for yourself. It won't garner you any compliments, maybe a negative one. With this, you just need to be with the right crowd. Now, I'll get back to what I mean by the right crowd in a moment. But personally, I just love it when I'm having a bad day. For me, it complements one of those days when no one's opinion matter. When I'm having a stroll all on my own in the park. While I'm having a walk, I would like to piss people off with my scent, because that's the mood I'm in. It is more like a chorus to my sentimental, not sentimental, chords of damnation when I'm rocking the screw this world mojo. But the perfect. This also gives me vibes of the classic Old Spice. If it is something you fancy, I think this would be your cup of tea. I imagine this on a rugged, tough individual who does not give a damn about anyone's opinion. An assertive redneck rocking a leather jacket. You know, in their mid-30s. I think people like that at that age group, mature people who are really assertive and still like to take challenges, I would see them rocking it. Nevertheless, price wise, this is a gem because I just scored it for 12 quid, and you can also score it at a lower price depending on where you are. So price wise, a huge gem, you wouldn't want to miss on it, but it is not as versatile because I think you could only wear this on winter at night time when it is really cold. You'll be pissing people off if you're wearing this in summer. You could dress it up, dress it down, go casually. It just depends. It just needs the right demeanor, like I said, the right character to pull this off. But overall, the versatility factor is very bad because I could only see it work on limited occasions. But overall, I think it's upgrade to the original Jacques Bogart. For some reason, I was never a fan of it. I think this is more rich, and for some reason, the original was always felt like something was missing in it. But this is a more complete and richer and fuller version of it, and I think the wearability on this is better than the original. I wouldn't go on those ratings like I normally go about, because this is one of a kind of fragrances. That's the kind of, because Jacques Bogart produces challenging fragrances, challenging powerhouse fragrances. That's their theme. So I won't go individually through all the ratings, but personally, my overall rating on this one, considering everything, price, versatility, uniqueness, and the scent profile, I'll say 6 out of 10. That's my overall rating. But do let me know what you think. What are your memories associated with this nuclear fragrance? And what are your overall opinions on it? I would really like to know your take on this as well. Drop a comment below. And as always, the Frankenstein has spoken.